Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're digging into a filing that is all about promises and protections. And trust me, it has got a few layers well peeled back. Alright, so we're looking at Texas Ventures Acquisition the Third Corp, or TVACU as you might see it in the ticker tape. This is a company focused on acquiring other businesses, a common strategy in the SPAC world. What is really interesting here is an update to their internal agreements, specifically concerning protection for their leaders. This isn't a financial report showing revenue or profits, but rather a behind-the-scenes look at how the company is structuring its relationships with its directors and officers. Let's break down what this means. When a company like this goes public, it often does so through a SPAC, or a special purpose acquisition company. These companies are essentially blank checks formed to raise money and then find a target company to merge with. Ownership in these SPACs is usually split into different units like ordinary shares and redeemable warrants. So, when you see references to Class A ordinary shares and redeemable warrants, it is talking about the different pieces of ownership that make up these units. And these warrants, they give the holder the right to buy a company's stock at a specific price. In this case, it is for Class A ordinary shares, and the price is $11.5. This is a typical setup designed to give investors a potential upside if the company performs well after the SPAC merges with its target. The date attached to these, the 6th of January 2026. Is important because it is the date when some of these new arrangements officially took effect or were approved. Now, the big news in this filing is about something called an indemnity agreement. Think of this as a formal promise from the company to protect its leaders. When somebody is a director or an officer of a company, they make decisions that can sometimes lead to lawsuits or investigations, even if they did nothing wrong. This agreement says that if they get caught up in any trouble because of their work for the company will step in to defend them and cover their costs. The company's board of directors approved a new form of this indemnity agreement on the 6th of January 2026. This new agreement replaces an older one. The key takeaway is that the new directors and officers appointed on the 18th of September 2025 will be covered by this shiny new agreement, not the old one. This type of agreement is pretty standard, especially for companies that have gone public via a SPAC. It ensures that experienced individuals are willing to take on leadership roles, knowing they have a safety net. The company is essentially saying that they will indemnify or protect these leaders to the fullest extent allowed by law and their own company's rules. This also means they will help pay for any expenses related to claims or investigations they might face because of their service. Texas Ventures Acquisition the Third Corp is also identified as an emerging growth company. This means they can take advantage of certain regulatory flexibilities designed to help newer companies. They've elected not to use an extended transition period for new or revised financial accounting standards. This suggests they want to be on the updated accounting standards sooner rather than later, which can be a good sign for transparency. This section, Item 1.01, specifically covers the entry into a material definitive agreement, and that material definitive agreement is precisely this new indemnity agreement. It's important because it formalizes the protections for those running the company, signaling a commitment to strong corporate governance. What is interesting is that the agreement aims to provide contractual rights that go beyond what is already stated in the company's official documents and the law. It is like adding an extra layer of protection, making sure the leaders feel secure. This is crucial for attracting and retaining top talent who might otherwise be hesitant to take on high-level roles in a potentially volatile environment like the SPAC market. Now, Item 9.01 generally covers financial statements and exhibits. In this case, the main exhibit being filed is the form of indemnity agreement itself, an important document for understanding the company's internal governance structure. You'll also see a reference to the cover page interactive data file, which is essentially a digital tag making the document easier for computers to read and process. Finally, the signature block shows that Troy Rillo, the Chief Financial Officer, signed off on this report on the 7th of January 2026. This is the final confirmation that the company is officially submitting these details to the regulatory bodies. Now, let's look at this from a wider perspective. This filing isn't about the company's current financial performance or its market strategy in terms of products or services. Instead, it is a disclosure about the internal framework that supports the company's leadership. For a SPAC like Texas Ventures Acquisition the Third Corp, which is in the business of identifying and merging with other companies, having a stable and confident leadership team is paramount. The indemnity agreement is a tool to ensure that confidence from a Warren Buffett-style lens. We're not seeing sales figures or profit margins here, but we're assessing the integrity of the castle's walls. Strong protections for leadership can mean a few things. On one hand, it's a sign of good governance, ensuring the company can attract competent individuals who aren't afraid of potential downsides. It shows they've thought about the risks their executives might face. On the other hand, Overly broad or generous indemnity agreements can sometimes be a red flag if they seem to shield leaders excessively from accountability. However, in the context of a post-merger SPAC environment where scrutiny can be intense, this seems more like a necessary shield to keep operations moving smoothly. The key opportunity here is that by providing this assurance, the company increases its chances of securing experienced leadership that can successfully navigate the complexities of finding and integrating a target business. The risk, however, as I mentioned, is ensuring this protection doesn't become a crutch or shield gross negligence. Without access to their broader financial statements in this specific filing, it is hard to judge the company's overall financial health, but this agreement suggests they are prioritizing stability and confidence in their executive team, which is a fundamental building block for future success, especially for a company whose primary function is to facilitate mergers and acquisitions. In conclusion, this filing by Texas Ventures Acquisition III Corp is a crucial but often overlooked piece of corporate housekeeping. It's about building trust and ensuring that the people steering the ship feel secure enough to make the tough decisions that ultimately drive the company forward. It's a green light for leadership to operate with confidence. Alright, that is our breakdown of this particular filing. What is your take on these kinds of corporate agreements and what they signal for a company's direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance and filings. And don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.